Hello everyone, I am Sunmathi, a volunteer in Shivi Forensic, here to present the topic on paper and ink analysis. Basically, what is ink analysis? So, ink it is described as a fluid or paste in different colors, usually in black, blue, or red in color, which is used for writing, printing, or composing any letters on the paper or any sheet. So, the term ink analysis it is usually referred to chemical tests which are applied to small samples of ink removed from a document. Basically, the traditional method which is used is TLC, thin layer chromatography. Ink analysis basically it is been invented in the US Secret Services that introduce ink analysis over the program and maintain a library of over 6,000 inks. The composition of ink consists of pigment that is color, then resin or blender, which is pigment weighting, then additives, rub, resistance, drying ink body, then solvent or vehicle. Basically, the ink fluidity is maintained from this. So, these are the certain components of ink that are being present into it. Examination of ink. So basically there are many methods to examine ink. The non-destructive method consists of UV light method and digital processing method, and the destructive method consists of paper chromatography, thin layer chromatography, and high pressure liquid chromatography. So we will be seeing the first method, that is UV light method, which is a non-destructive method. So forensic technique also use UV light techniques such as ultraviolet nano monochromator or optical spectroscopy to detect the presence of illegal or controlled substance of their residues is unidentified samples or to determine how many types of inks or pen were used in a forged document. Second is paper chromatography, which is a destructive technique, and third one is high pressure liquid chromatography, that is also a destructive technique in which the ink is being the sample is being destroyed as we are going to opt with that technique. The sample preparation will be needed and further things will be added on into the sample, so the original sample could be destroyed. The next slide is of thin layer chromatography. As we all know, in thin layer chromatography we will be having solvent as well as solute medium, and in that we will be differentiating the ink use and the paper quality, and the composition of paper will be determined by that. Then we have digital processing method. It is Hammond examined black BP pens. BP here stands for ballpoint pen by a digital imaging processing method. Basically, the method uses a flatbed image scanner followed by analyzing with the lab color mode of commercial available imaging tools. So it is a validation study of 44 pen samples has been created and 990 pen pairs samples, of which 28.5% were undifferentiated by the method. Then the additives which are introduced to paper, such as fillers, coatings, easings. So basically what are they? Fillers are the colors or textures which are being added for the durability. It makes the surface of paper less porous to ink so that we can write smoothly. And then coating help to improve the look as well as the surface property of paper. The finishes. So the photo appear brighter and colored clearly on inkjet photo paper with higher paper brightness rating, glows, metallic, staining. So different type of paper will be having different type of finishing, and based on the finishing, a higher paper brightness can make a greater difference, then it is almost glossy or like various type of brightness. So brightness will be determining the finishing of that paper. So the age of the paper will be determined by radiocarbon dating. So the authenticity of the misty land map was debated for decades, but in 2002, a scrap of map parchment was analyzed by a destructive organic method, that was carbon dating, and the evidence proved that this map of New World was made in 1434 AD, a full 60 years before Columbus got there. So this is how the carbon dating is being used to determine the age. The thickness of the paper will be varying in the size, like length will be different, legal length will be different, legal length will be different, leather, barrel rod. So different types of tools are being used to measure the thickness of the paper, as it is in very small amount and very small inches and millimeters it is being there. So in this picture you can see the like how to figure out types of border, test, liners, like what is double face, double wall, fluent, correlate sizes. So everything is being given in a pictorial form here, so we can refer that. Then we have uniform thickness and thinnest point. So basically uniform thickness means the uniform stress throughout the paper, and thinnest point means the maximum stress is being provided at one particular point. So that is what the pressure difference over the paper. Hello everyone, I am Sunmathi, a volunteer in Shivi Forensic, here to present the topic on paper and ink analysis. Then we have the brightness. So the brightness of piece of paper is typically expressed on the scale of 1 to 100, with 100 being the brightest. So the multi-purpose band paper used in color machines or desktop printers generally have high brightness, but the normal paper which we use, it is having lower brightness, or we can say as it is having a moderate brightness. And same it will be differing for photo papers and other luminance paper are there. So different types of paper will be having different types of brightness. The finishes. So the photo appears brighter and colored clearly on inkjet photo paper with higher paper brightness rating, glows, metallic, staining. So different type of paper will be having different type of finishing, and based on the finishing, a higher paper brightness can make a greater difference than it is almost glossy or like various type of brightness. So brightness will be determining the finishing of that paper. There are different shades of white. So basically the paper is generally in a pure white color, but there are certain, like nowadays there are different types of paper which are coming into multiple variety of colors, and not only in different types of color, it is having different softness, warmth, pale, ivory white. So they are having different types of white mixtures as well as shades also, which are being present in different types of paper. Watermark, as we all know, watermark is it is a recognizable image or pattern in a paper that appears as various shades of lightness or darkness depending on the type of watermark we want to put, and it is viewed by transmitted light, and it is one among the security features which is being used to determine the paper, which type of paper it is, and it is being present like put in into the paper at the time of manufacturing only, as it is into the thickness of the paper. Okay, thickness and density where like variation in the paper. The watermark tells us like gives us various clues, like criminal scientist, where the manufacturing has been done, the date of manufacturing, many times the like whole paper where it is manufactured, the manufacturing location, like if any forgery is being done in any type of paper, that could be taken from that. Then the fiber density could be taken, the paper is made with a standard format or not. So all these type of like clues could be identified from a watermark. Thank you for your active listening and stay tuned for more such videos.